Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Seth Schorr joins us of 5th Street Gaming and the Downtown Grand in downtown Las Vegas. He's here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Forget the weather outside. There's a blizzard of points inside the Carson Valley Inn during the 15 million points giveaways. Drawings every Thursday and Saturday, including 4 1 million point winners guaranteed. And don't miss the 2 million point grand prize giveaways. It's the 15 million points giveaways at the Carson Valley Inn.
Big R is Northern Nevada's #1 Golden Fire wood pellet supplier. More heat, less ash, 100% natural, and no additives. And there's only one place that stocks this many wood pellets, and that's Big R in Sparks, Winnemucca, Fallon, Fernley, and Lovelock. A river of wood pellets at Big R.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low, and our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way, because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome to the program for the first time Seth Schorr. He runs 5th Street Gaming and the Downtown Grand in downtown Las Vegas. He also is responsible for 5 casinos, 50 restaurants, and in 2015, he became part of the Nevada Esports Alliance. We have lots to talk about on this program. I wanted to start out with your thoughts on Formula One and what ways we may be able to do things better next year, especially for the businesses that were outside that immediate circle where they did very, very well, but others, including downtown, not as well as they had hoped.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great question. I think Formula One is a fantastic thing for our city. It fits very well into our sports narrative that we've been writing for the past 6 or 7 years since we've started to incorporate major professional teams, which I think is very, very important, not just from a tourist perspective, but from a locals perspective, from getting people to continue to move to Las Vegas. We need to have world-class sports teams. And I think Formula One is one of those, and one that's very interesting and unique. But you're right, a lot of businesses that weren't specifically right there on the strip, right there on the track, did not benefit, and some, did suffer a bit over that weekend. I do think that there are ways that properties and local businesses will learn to be creative and will figure out how to work with Formula One to benefit from that amazing weekend, like we do with NFR and some other citywide events. So I think over the next couple of years, we'll start to see that. Some of that will be formalized, some of that will be ad hoc. But I just want to finalize by saying, I do own local restaurants. Some did not have a great weekend when Formula One was here. But I'd really rather take a compromised weekend, knowing things that, like Formula One, continue to add to Las Vegas being the entertainment capital of the world. And it's what it drives people here, the other weekends out of the year where we do benefit. So we'll see. Good thing is we have many years to figure it out.
Yeah, and to just elaborate a little on what you said about NFR, the National Finals Rodeo, pretty much every property in Las Vegas, whether it's downtown, on the Strip, or wherever, puts on events connected to NFR, puts on concerts connected to NFR. So you don't even have to go because Thomas & Mack doesn't have that many seats available by comparison with how many hotel rooms you have. And so everybody benefits from that. But as you say, this was the first year. It's always going to be a learning experience.
Yeah, and look, they're Formula One itself, the organization, and now with Betsy Fretwell as the chief operating officer, I think they'll come into this upcoming year with a slightly different perspective and willingness and understanding of how to work with other properties. NFR does a great job doing that. At the Downtown Grand, we might have a live remote. We'll work with different cowboys, work with different sponsors from within that culture. But those are things we figured out over many decades. So I think the same thing will happen.
And I can't wait for the Netflix special.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be incredible promotion. I mean, Formula One was always big, but I mean, that's made it big in this country, which it really wasn't nearly as much as it is in Europe and around the world.
Definitely.
Okay, so one other thing I wanted to ask you before I want to get to the main topics is, we've had 25 years of the Goodmans being mayor of Las Vegas, which has been an incredible run. I love the two of them dearly. But what are your thoughts, not necessarily on a candidate, but what would you like to see in terms of direction that the next mayor should take in terms of Las Vegas, the city, and downtown, and the issues?
Yeah, so speaking from a downtown perspective and starting with, Mayor Oscar Goodman, the passion that both Mayors Goodman have had consistently for our city and for downtown Las Vegas has been A plus, phenomenal. I mean, those are tremendous shoes to fill. So I hope that whoever the next mayor is, does his or her best to simply continue to follow that path. And I don't think we should take that for granted. I mean, look at other cities, other mayors. I mean, when have you seen something like this where, you have a family that has such genuine passion and interest in our city that, they've continue to be elected and admired and appreciated. Personally, I have a personal relationship, especially with Mayor Goodman. I went to the Meadows School 40 years ago that she started, which is just one of the many things that she has done that has, created Las Vegas, that has changed Las Vegas for forever. And I think, like I said, it's just a genuine love for this city and for wanting to make it better. I mean, it's just, if you have a leader that has no other motive than just benefiting the city, I don't know what else you can ask for. So, I hope the next mayor has half that passion. I do know that Cedric Creer definitely does, also being a local and someone who grew up in this town. I think he would be an amazing mayor. Maybe others will throw their hat in the race, but we'll see.
Cedric was on the program last year, and if people want to watch a show to see, and he's a councilman right now, he did a terrific interview on this program. You can find it by searching for him at the bottom of our homepage at NevadaNewsmakers.com. All right, let's talk about esports. As I mentioned at the top there, in 2015, you became part of the Nevada Esports Alliance. It has just been mind-blowing to me that something that is so huge around the world has taken off so slowly here in the United States. And it just seems that even from a non-gaming perspective, because I mean, we get the benefit of gaming, for example, from conventions, because people come, they go to the conventions, then they go to the shows, the restaurants, and potentially gamble, because gambling itself has dropped to what, 32% of the spend for the average tourist. and yet we have not really been able to take advantage of this anywhere in the state. What are your thoughts on what's taken so long?
Sure. So yeah, in 2015, Brett of Arbel, Jennifer Roberts, Chris Grove, and I actually started the Nevada Esports Alliance. The purpose then was to explore how Las Vegas and the casino and tourism industry could incorporate esports into its offerings. It was for many years an education, exploration. We actually did do some events. From a sports betting perspective, just as interest started to show around betting on esports, in 2018, the federal government had the repeal of PASPA, which then allowed these major sports betting companies, BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, to go into other states, which for the past 6 years, that has been their focus. How do we get licensed and live and acquire customers in Massachusetts, in New York? And that's, put other initiatives on the back burner, esports being one of them. I do think 2024 and 2025, there aren't any major new states coming online, which will be a time for these major sportsbook operators to look at ways of differentiating and other ways of acquiring customers. And I do feel esports is one of them. Here in Nevada, the Gaming Control Board started the Esports Technical Advisory Committee early last year. And we have a meeting today at 12 o'clock with the chair of the Gaming Control Board to plan for this upcoming year. So I think, it's been a long game, a slow process, but one that, I think I feel as confident as ever in. And it's a growing industry, and one that I know Nevada and the casino industry will continue to find its role. In terms of live events, COVID didn't help, and certainly many of the esports events, 98% of them do take place online. And there are other forms of betting on esports and video games, such as peer-to-peer, where I bet against another player, which we are exploring as an industry.
Okay, so do you look at esports as from the gaming side, or do you look at from the attendance side? Because it seems to me that if one were to put on a tournament, say for example, where you brought in the top 10 players on the West Coast that everybody is familiar with in the esports world, put up a decent prize, that in a slow week, that you could fill properties, but also have the marketing potential of literally millions of people around the world watching this.
Yeah, so I think it's both. I think that's the thing that makes esports so interesting and unique from a traditional stick and ball sports is we can throw a major event where professional esport athletes are playing against each other and tens of thousands of people are watching, but then those people can go into the casino and play against themselves. They can bet on the team. They can meet the team and influencers. There's so much around video game culture that we can embrace that I think it's the whole strategy. But you said something interesting. You said, Phil, a slow week. We don't have any slow weeks anymore. That's another part of the problem is, when things are going well, it's not a time that many properties will take risks and try new things. And I think that even though many recognize the potential of esports, it also takes a lot of work. Many, back in, you mentioned 2015, back around that time, at least 2 or 3 of the major organizations had 1 or 2 esport experts on their payroll to figure this out. They don't anymore. There is no, the properties don't have anybody to help them build that strategy, which is one of the reasons why the Esports Technical Advisory Committee was created, and one opportunity why a third party can come into Las Vegas and help casinos build a strategy, because I don't know that it'll be done from within these organizations.
All right, let's take a break and let's come back with more with Seth Schorr after this time out.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
Find your fortune during the $150,000 Lucky Fortune giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Cash and free play giveaways every Thursday and Saturday, including $5,000 cash guaranteed and $40,000 in grand finale giveaways. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Seth Schorr of 5th Street Gaming. They own the Downtown Grand in downtown Las Vegas. And he's been part of esports since 2015, was one of the founders of the Nevada Esports Alliance. You were talking about, the industry not wanting to take chances or being slow to pick up on things. I want to bring up an issue. And I mean, I realize that every casino in the country makes money off of slot machines, but slot machines have barely changed in my lifetime, which has been quite a while. I mean, they've gotten bigger over the last few years, but do we not need to change the technology within the gaming floor to be able to accommodate new people? I was in a classroom of kids the other day. These were 5th graders, and we said, how many of you are on Facebook? Nobody put up their hand. How many are on TikTok? Everybody put up their hand. Things are changing, but yet we're still stuck with, the same old slot machines.
Yeah, I mean, look, the short answer is yes, we need to see more innovation. The longer answer is it's very, very complicated. Part of the challenge is it's not broken today, right? Part of the challenge is, it's you have the person that's going to take risk, the industry that's going to take risk has to be well funded. I was on the board of a company called GameCo that created a video game slot machine. The founder, gets an A for effort in terms of identifying a problem. This goes back 8 years ago. But it's very challenging for a new company to get funded and licensed and deal with the regulations and to bring a new machine onto the casino floor. And the large operators today are not really incentivized to, completely, reinvent something that, does seem to be working today. All that being said, I do have comfort that the online industry, we are seeing a lot of innovation there, different types of games, scratch cards and crash games, and a little bit, different graphics. mostly from game studios in Europe. And I do think that as those games become more popular, we will see them, convert into physical games into our retail casino.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back with more with Seth Schorr after this timeout.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Remember 2010 in Northern Nevada, 13 to 14% unemployment, thousands of homes in foreclosure, Nevada's casinos closing? Families in the Reno-Sparks area were hurting. Many were losing everything. Then Story County launched a game changer for our region, a public-private industrial partnership, streamlined permitting, slashed bureaucracy, attracting Fortune 500 companies that made Nevada their home. Story County generated a river of cash to area communities. Economic studies by the state and others for the Gigafactory consistently show positive economic benefits for our region. $4 billion in local wages, $17 billion in consumer spending and economic activity, over $100 million in taxes to Washoe, Story, Reno, Sparks, and Nevada, just for the Gigafactory alone. Story County, improving Northern Nevada one industry at a time.
Brian Culpa Photography was born in the rolling hills of Massachusetts, and now he can help you experience the stunning beauty of Nevada in a whole new way through the power of flight. Flying has always been a passion for Brian, and at Brian Culpa Photography, he can make your imagination soar. Brian has the creative mind and tools to tell your unique story. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculpaphotography.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Seth Schorr of 5th Street Gaming and the Downtown Grand. You wanted to add something to what we were saying just before the break.
I do. I think, look, the gaming industry is highly regulated, as it should be. Nevada is still the gold standard of regulations, especially when it comes to land-based casinos. Can't say that about iGaming. What I do want to say is, Governor Lombardo, when he came into office a year ago, listened. He engaged the casino industry, and the challenge that he heard from many of the industry leaders, especially those that were trying to create new games, was that it was too hard. The licensing process was very, very challenging from a time and financial perspective. He made a commitment to change that. The leaders of the Gaming Control Board also share those same feelings. They've had workshops. They've started to create new regulations and new processes for game developers to get trial games on the floor much easier. So that's all just taken place over the last 6 to 9 months. So now it's up to industry to take advantage of the easier process that government has created. So, like any highly regulated industry, it has to be a symbiotic relationship between government and private business. And I think we're now teed up to see the innovation that you've observed is needed.
All right, and we're excited to see changes coming for the future. All right, so now I want to get to AI, and by the way, I'm probably going to have to invite you back to come and talk more about this because we're not going to get it all in 3 minutes. Artificial intelligence is the big buzzword, but the reality is that it's been going on for quite a while in the gaming industry and the hotel industry. Can you share with us what some of the changes are that have already occurred and some that you are anticipating over the next couple of years?
There's no doubt that AI is going to change all industries and all of our lives, and I think we all are very aware of the change that's taking place in front of us. You're right, AI and machine learning has been in the background for 10 or 20 years, depending on how you want to define it. But it did fundamentally change last year. OpenAI and Bard and some of the other tools that have been put in the hands of everybody has changed the game. From a hospitality perspective, we've had some artificial intelligence customer service tools for a handful of years now, where you can, ask AI, what time, the show starts tonight, and, helping to make dinner reservations. Now that AI has continued to evolve, the level of customer service that can be provided will just be exponential. I hope that AI never replaces the human experience, but what it should do is AI should replace humans in everything that is transactional, right? Checking into your room, making a dinner reservation, asking what time a show starts. Those are things we don't need a human. And now we can employ people instead of doing these very transactional jobs. They can embrace our customers, put their arms around our customers, have great personalities, and provide a different level of experience. There's all sorts of benefits that, of course, AI has been giving us from an analytical perspective. The one thing that I'm finding in our organization is AI has allowed a layman to use analytical tools where 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, you really had to be like a database administrator. You had to have a skill set that was much greater to get the information out of your database, and AI is making it much easier.
I am so sorry we have run out of time. I have so many more questions. If we can, let's make a date for the near future to have you come back, and we'll devote the whole show to AI, because you have so much more to say about this, and I'm excited to hear it. Thank you so much for doing this. I know how busy you are. I really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. It was really fun. I'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you, Seth, and we'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can catch us online 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com, or you can download the podcast wherever you like to get your podcast. We'll see you on the next broadcast.